Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Suci Citrasari Mardiana. My official number is A1M2-18117. I am from group 6 and will explain about the formalization in semantic. Logical semantic is the study of meaning with the aid of mathematical logic. The term is commonly used by logicians in a narrower sense than this, to refer to the investigation of the meaning or interpretation of expression in specially constructed logical system. Logical semantic in this narrower and more technical sense may be referred as pure semantic. It is a highly specialized branch of modern logic which we shall be concerned with only insofar as it furnishes us with concept and symbolic notation useful for the analysis of language. Pioneered by the philosopher Donald Davidson, another formalized theory which aims to associate each natural language sentence with a meta-language description of the condition under which it's true. For example, snow is white is true if and only if snow is white. The challenge is to arrive at the truth condition for any sentences from fixed meanings assigned to the individual words and fixed rules for how to combine them. In practice, truth conditional semantics is similar to more theoretic semantics conceptually. However, they differ in that truth conditional semantic seeks to connect language with statement about the real world in the form of meta-language statement rather than with abstract models. Constructed logical systems are frequently referred to as language, but we will not adopt this usage. We will refer to them instead as calcully, keeping the term language for natural language. This will enable us to oppose linguistic semantics to pure semantics. Linguistic semantics, like other branches of linguistics, will have a theoretical and a descriptive section. Theoretical linguistic semantics, henceforth abbreviated as theoretical semantics, will be concerned with the construction of general theory of meaning for language, or alternatively and less ambitiously, with the theoretical discussion of various aspects of meaning in language, for it's as yet uncertain whether all aspects of meaning can be brought within the scope of comprehensive and unidentified theory. Descriptive linguistic semantics, henceforth abbreviated as descriptive semantics, will have as its domain the description or investigation of the meaning of sentences and utterance in particular language. The terms pure syntax, theoretical syntax, and descriptive syntax may be distinguished in similar fashion. A calculus whose formation rules or synthetic rules are specified, but for whose expressions no semantic interpretation is supplied, is an uninterpreted calculus, which is a calculus for which both synthetic and semantic rules are given is an interpreted calculus. Mathematical logic has much the same advantages over traditional logic that the statement of numerical problem in mathematical notation has over the statement of the same numerical problem in ordinary language. The mathematical formulation of the problem is usually much shorter, as well as being clearer and less susceptible to misinterpretation. More important than this, however, is the fact that when one is converting a statement of ordinary language into some supposedly equivalent symbolic representation, one is forced to examine the ordinary language statement with more care than one might otherwise have done, and as a consequence, instances of ambiguity or imprecision may be detected which might otherwise have passed by unnoticed. The relationship between logic and language has long been, and still is, controversial. There are those who maintain that language are of their nature imperfect and illogical, and therefore totally unsuited to systematic reasoning and scientific discussion, that it's hopeless and wrong-headed to attempt to correct their imperfection, and that they should be replaced with logical calculi constructed especially for the purpose. Others have maintained that language have their own internal logic appropriate to the multifarious function which they fulfill, that the criticism directed against language should be turned instead against those philosophers and logicians who have failed to understand that this is so and have themselves confused language with the use or misuse of language, and that in any case the logical calculi constructed by mathematicians and logicians have been strongly influenced by the grammatical structure of particular language and cannot therefore be regarded as independent ideal system by reference to which language can be judged and found to be deficient. Some of the major contributions to the development of mathematical logic have been made by scholars with a particular interest in epistemology and a commitment to empiricism. It was their view that an ideal language to which actual language might approximate in various degrees, but which they certainly didn't realize would directly reflect the structure of reality. Every simple expression of the language will have a single meaning, and this could be described either directly or by reduction. In terms of the relationship holding between the expression and the object or class of object, which the expression stood for or name in the external world. Sentences stood for facts or states of affairs, and in an ideal language they would be in structural correspondence with them. For various reasons, the particularly strong form of empiricism, which went under the name of logical atomism, and with the certain additional features logical positivism, is no longer as influential as it was a generation ago. One of the main problems encountered by logical atomism was that of accommodating as part of the real world such peculiar entities as negative facts and objects of belief. Most damaging ultimately was the increasing recognition by philosophers, not only that language was used for many other purposes besides that, describing the world, but also that many of the other uses of language were philosophically and indeed logically interesting. Thus was born the movement commonly known as ordinary language philosophy, or in very special sense of the term, linguistic analysis. At the same time, further work in mathematical logic had made it clear that indefinitely many different calculi could be constructed, each of which may have advantages or disadvantages for some particular application. No priority or preeminence need therefore be attributed to those calculi which the logical atomists and logical positivists had thought of as being ideal for philosophical purposes. I think that's all I can explain. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.